You have to, okay, Charlie's ready.
Can you do the side choke from, show us the side choke from the mount?
Okay. So we were talking about the
That's right,
the paper cutter.
The paper cutter from the mount.
Okay. So look, just so we understand the motions that the arms make. My opponent's head is here, and their feet are here, and my hand is in the collar, right, with the palm down and the thumb inside. And when I drop the elbow, I don't want to just drop the elbow straight to the ground. If I'm able to get it to the ground, it means that I need to start to move it in this direction, like a circle towards his head. Okay? So once I drop the choke, I need to move it in a circle towards his head. This hand is underneath, holding preferably, if you can get as deep as the top of the shoulder and pull down, that's very nice. If not, you can go as shallow as the elbow and still make the choke work. So let's look at how the choke is arrived at. Okay, if you can lay on your back, please, and your head's here and your feet is here, your feet are there. Right, from a standard side mount position, which Elio always showed as both arms on one side and both knees on one side, chest to chest, right? We know that we don't use this for pinning purposes because we always want to be hip to hip with the knees off the ground so the person feels our weight, right? But for the sake of demonstrating, Elio would always start like this from this classic side mount. And from here, I put my hand down, right, inside the gi. The thumb runs inside. Now if I grab too deep, there won't be enough space for my arm to drop across. And if I grab too shallow, I miss the neck. So I'm trying to cover the neck, right, from here to here. And to do that, I use the area between my wrist and my elbow. So the forearm is what covers the breadth of the neck, the width of the neck. So the nicest place to grab is about collarbone height. Maybe a little higher, a little lower, maybe between the collarbone and the pec, right? But somewhere around this mid-range, not so deep and not so shallow, but somewhere around here. And in order to use this arm to secure the bottom part of the choke, what's nice is to sit this way. Right, so we sit like this. So from this position, I hold the collar at about the mid-range. And now when I move the leg here out of the way, I'm going to stretch the leg. Right? I'm going to stretch the leg out of the way. There's a space that opens up here for me. Right, so look, when I switch the hand to this side now, and I move the leg out of the way, you can see the hand back here, right? You can come over to this side. And right now, if my hand were to reach this way, the leg is blocking it. So I start in this position and I maintain this grip loosely on the collar because I don't want to give the choke away. And now I move my leg out of the way, and look, this lets me keep all the weight on the hip. And now the hand goes through that open space until I can find the gi. And see, I can't get to the top of the shoulder here, that's fine. Just right here, that's enough, that's fine. And now I roll myself down and forward, right? Continue to stretch this leg so he can't replace the guard. As I drop the elbow, I pull the sleeve. I pull the sleeve and drop the elbow at the same time. If my elbow makes it all the way to the ground, that's when I start to make the circle towards the head. Okay, very simple. Now, if I'm in a traditional side mount like this, and I'm able to get my arm in front of my body and go all the way deep to the shoulder, this is, of course, very tight, and usually before the elbow hits the ground, the person will tap. All right? Generally, though, the person who I'm attacking will know enough to keep their elbows in. They're probably always trying to move the knee inside and shrimp to this side to replace the guard, so it's often difficult to reach that deep. So this is a nice way to take the choke. Right, if we're trying to fight for the side mount control here, and he's also trying to defend, I can just keep my hip on his hip, and I keep my hand here, close to my leg, alongside the leg. And I can even lay on my arm a little bit and use it to pin him. And now I hold the collar like this. Not so tight that he knows I'm going to choke, not too deep and not too shallow, just here. Right, and now look, I just move my leg like this, move my hips out of the way, and I reach. The hand comes underneath, and I get what I can. I can get the sleeve, I can get the bicep, I can reach for the shoulder, whatever. And now when it's time to choke, I'm going to pull here, and drop the elbow at the same time. Okay, and if my elbow goes all the way to the ground, then I move it in a circle towards the head. And that's going to make the choke work. Okay, but the critical element is to maintain all of the weight in this area. So let's look at this two ways, right? When you practice this, first start like this. Both knees and both hands. Right? Hold the collar with the thumb inside. Take your bottom hand and put it in front of your body until you can go under his arm and hold the shoulder. So both hands are here. Hold the collar. Put the hand in front of your body all the way to his shoulder. See my hand come out the back here? Right there it is. Now I'm going to pull this down while I drop the elbow. All right, that's a nice way just to get the feel for the choke. A little more advanced method is I want to lock my hip to his hip in standard side control. The knees are off the ground, right? I'm not like this where the weight is on the ground and on him. I want to drive all of my weight through him and hold the collar here like this. Okay? If I'm already in Keishigatami, I can still hold the collar. And now when I switch to go face down, that's when the arm goes. Look, I stretch the leg out of the way and the arm goes. And I find the sleeve. Right here I've managed to just grab the bottom of the sleeve by the elbow. That's enough. That's enough as long as I keep my weight centered here on the hip. Then he can't change the angle. Right? If he shrimps this way and gets his spine off the ground, now look, the angle for the choke is gone. I need the neck flat and open. If he's like this, there's no choke. So it's critical that you keep the pressure on the hip. So we're hip to hip, maybe starting in the Keishigatami, and I hold the collar like this. And now as I stretch the leg, I switch the hand until I find the sleeve. Then I can drop the elbow and pull at the same time. And if it reaches the ground, then I can draw the circle towards the head. That's all. Okay?